This is how to draw EeVee from Pokemon. Now EeVee is kind of a fox type character, but like most drawings we just start out with a basic shape. In this case we're starting with her head, just a circle. Now it doesn't have to be a perfect circle, just a general circle-ish shape is fine. And the body will be kind of in the shape of an oval. This is just to block in the basic proportions of this character. Now we'll draw a line through the middle. This will help us with putting the features on either side. Now we'll come in over on this side and start drawing in this kind of triangle oval shape for its tail. And feel free to pause the video at any time if you need to catch up. Also, leave in the comments what you want me to draw next. And if you find this video helpful, please like it, as that helps YouTube to know that this video can help people draw. The next thing we'll do is block in where the ears will be. So I'm just going to come up about almost the height of this head here. Just imagine the height of the head up here. I'm just going to draw a dot for where the top of its ear will be over here. Then on this side, another dot. So now, coming back down to the head, we'll just draw a swoopy, curved triangle type shape for her ear. Like so. And then the same thing over here. Just kind of curve it around. We're just blocking in the basic shapes here. We can always refine it later. Okay. So now we'll come down here and just right at the bottom of this shape down here, we're just gonna draw a little half oval connected to the center line for her paw. And then this side, draw another oval. And then from the top part of this oval, we'll just draw a shape that curves up like so. Another shape that curves upwards. Now, for the furry part, we're just gonna kind of push some curves out here, almost like puffy clouds that just curve around like this, then end in a kind of almost like a whipped ice cream shape. Like think of a upside down ice cream cone. It's kind of what this looks like. Again, this is just the rough drawing. I'm going to go over this on a separate layer to do the line work. If you're drawing on paper, make sure you're drawing lightly so that you can erase your rough drawing later. Or you can draw with dark lines and put a piece of paper over it and trace over for the finished line work later on. But normally it's always best to start out drawing lightly, because it's always easier to erase a light line than a dark line. Alright, so now come over to the bottom here and we're gonna rough in her back legs. Just come into here, and then her paw sticks out back here, her back paw. Same thing on this side. Alright, now let's come back up to the face and start roughing in the facial features. So now, just draw a line in the middle here guideline for where her eyes will be, her nose, and the mouth. So, start with the eyes first. She has pretty big eyeballs, like most Pokemon. They're these kind of, oval, vertical oval type eyes. Pretty tall. And then her eyes are actually kind of spaced apart widely. Normally, most cases an eye is like one eye length in between here. But in EeVee's case, it's more like 2 eye lengths apart. It's how wide her eyes are. So we'll just imagine those 2 eyes there. Like 1, 2 eyes. And it just comes over to this side. Just lightly sketching in the shape. Probably color this after we do the line work. I'll do a coloring. Then her nose is really tiny. Then she's a pretty happy animal, so she'll have a little smile here. Just swoops in up here. Now, for her eyes, she has these little kind of dents up here, like almost like eyebrows. Just come out over to the very top like that. And some really big highlights. Just draw a circle there. Circle there. Now, her hair just arcs over the top of her head. So I'll have these little spiky spikes that just kind of push out like so. And her top of her head just comes around like this. We're not perfectly following this original oval shape, but her face kind of narrows slightly in the middle here. See how her skull kind of comes in towards the middle? And then it comes back out over here where her cheeks will be. So her cheeks kind of push it out just a bit. Like that. And we'll draw some fluff coming out here. Alright, so now we'll come back up to the ears and draw in the insides of her ears, which just follow the lines of the outside of her ears. And there's some fluffy hair that spikes out right here towards the bottom of her ear. Go over to this side. A spike of hair. And then inside of her ear like so. Now her tail has a few strands of hair over here. And the white part of her tail is kind of like a volcano shape. It's almost like, well, I mean, it is like a foxtail. Alright, and then our eyes. Got to draw the pupil part, which is important, obviously. Let's kind of continue the pupil into the side. And we'll come in here and color all this in 1 minute. I think her mouth needs to be just a tiny bit smaller. Just a little cuter. Maybe a little higher too. If the features are pushed more closely together, it can sometimes look more like a baby. And of course, animals that are more closely like a human infant proportions we tend to find cute, such as kittens, puppy dogs. Alright, so now we'll come in and do the line work. So if you're drawing on paper, just put a fresh sheet of paper over it, or just be prepared to erase your lightly drawn lines and add better, more refined lines. What we're going to do is really highlight the lines here that define the form.